far beyond the edge of any known map, where the ocean turned to ice and the wind sang songs older than time, lived a young emperor penguin named Pippin. He was not like the others in his colony while they huddled through the long Antarctic night to keep warm. Pippin stared out at the horizon, wondering what lay beyond the endless white. His curiosity often got him into trouble. He'd wander too far from the huddle, or dive into icy waters when the elders warned against it. But Pippin didn't care. He dreamed of adventure, not just surviving the cold, but discovering something greater. One day, while exploring an iceberg that had broken free from a glacier, he spotted something bobbing in the waves, a bottle sealed with wax and tied with seaweed. Inside was a scroll, its edges frayed by salt and time. When he unrolled it, the ink shimmered faintly, as if alive. It was a map, drawn in lines of deep blue and green, showing a place no penguin had spoken of in centuries. Zephyria, the Lost Island. At the bottom of the map was a riddle written in ancient penguin script. Where the sky dances green and the sea sings blue, penguins once soared, but now only few know true. Seek the lost isle where the past won't hide, and claim the crown of tides if you dare to ride. Pippin's heart pounded. This wasn't just a legend, it was real, and he knew in that moment that he was meant to find it. Pippin couldn't embark on such a journey alone. He needed companions, brave ones. He first sought out Nala, a rock hopper from a distant island who had wandered south after her own people were scattered by a storm. She was sharp-tongued, quick-witted, and could navigate by the stars better than any compass. She laughed when Pippin showed her the map. "You're either mad or a genius," she said. "Either way, I'm in." Next came Gloop, a clumsy Adelie who believed himself destined for greatness. Though he stumbled more than he walked and spoke constantly about his unmatched bravery, there was a sincerity in his eyes that made Pippin trust him. "I've always wanted to be a hero," Gloop said proudly. "Now I can finally prove it." Finally, there was Professor Fluffington, a retired king penguin scholar who wore tiny spectacles balanced on his beak. He claimed to have studied ancient maps and forgotten islands for over 50 years. Most thought he was a mad old bird, but Pippin saw wisdom in his cloudy eyes. "This isn't a tale," the professor murmured, studying the map. "It's a prophecy." Together they built a vessel from driftwood, kelp sails, and frozen fish crates. They called it the Waddle Quest, and under the glow of the southern lights they set sail. Their voyage began smoothly enough, gliding between icebergs and dodging leopard seals. But soon the sea grew wilder. A great storm rose from the depths, thunder crackling across the sky like lightning striking glass. Waves towered like mountains, threatening to swallow them whole. Gloop clutched a fish like a sword, shouting battle cries at the sea. Nala took the helm, steering with instincts honed from years of surviving tempests. Pippin held on to hope, and the professor, surprisingly, remained calm, humming an old tune about lost winds and forgotten skies. Then came the serpent. It emerged from the mist, a massive creature with scales like sapphires, eyes glowing with ancient fire. Its voice was the sound of crashing waves and howling storms. "Only those pure of heart may pass to Zephyria." "What do you seek?" Pippin stepped forward, trembling but determined. "Not treasure or power. We seek truth and perhaps a little fun." The serpent considered this, then smiled in unsettling sight. "You are bold, pass." With a flick of its tail, the storm parted, revealing a hidden path through the clouds. Zephyria rose before them like a dream made real. Towering cliffs crowned with emerald jungles, waterfalls that fell into pools of crystal clear water, and skies painted with colors unknown to science. But the island was dying. The trees whispered warnings, the rivers ran dry in places, and the air felt heavy with sorrow. The group landed near a ruined temple carved into the side of a mountain, where vines had overtaken stone statues of penguins with wings. Suddenly, figures emerged from the shadow penguins unlike any they had seen. Sleek, feathered, and agile, these were the Icefin clan, descendants of explorers who had come here generations ago and never returned. Their leader, a regal penguin named Queen Serena, greeted them with wary eyes. "You have found us, but why now when our land fades?" Pippin showed her the map and the riddle. Her expression darkened. "The crown of tides. It was shattered long ago. Only by restoring it can we heal Zephyria." She explained that the crown had once granted flight to penguins, allowing them to soar above oceans and explore the skies. But greed led to war, and the crown was destroyed to stop the chaos. Now, the fragments were scattered across the island. Each companion took a fragment to retrieve. Pippin, Cavern of Echoes. Deep beneath the island, Pippin entered a cavern where every step echoed with memories. Voices of the past whispered his fears. "You'll be forgotten. No one will remember your name." He faced them bravely, realizing that legacy wasn't about being remembered, it was about doing what was right. He found the shard glowing in a pool of still water, reflecting not his face, but the faces of those he loved. Nala, Forest of Whispers. In the jungle, Nala faced illusions spun by the trees themselves, visions of betrayal, loss, and failure. But she learned to listen, not fight, and followed the whispers to a hidden grove where the second shard rested atop a stone altar. Gloop. Volcanic Ridge Gloop climbed the smoking volcano, dodging molten rock and lava birds. He slipped, fell, and nearly gave up until he remembered his friend's belief in him. With renewed courage, he reached the summit and claimed the third shard. Professor Fluffington, Sky Temple high above the clouds. The professor deciphered glyphs etched into floating stones. He solved the final puzzle, releasing the last shard from a cage of wind and light. As they reunited at the temple, the crown reformed in a burst of radiant energy. The ground trembled. From the heart of the island rose a spirit, a colossal penguin-shaped guardian made of wind, water, and starlight. Its voice boomed. "You have restored the crown. Will you wield I to return it to the sea?" Pippin stepped forward. "We will restore balance, not for glory but for peace." The crown dissolved into light, flowing into the land and sky. Trees bloomed, rivers flowed again, and the air filled with music. Then, something miraculous happened. Wings of light formed around each of them, true wings, feathered and strong. For a brief moment, they flew. Penguins soared through the skies, dancing among the clouds. Pippin laughed, tears streaming down his cheeks as the wind carried him higher than he ever imagined. Months later, the crew returned home, changed forever. Their tales spread across colonies, told by mothers to their chicks, by elders beside warming fires. Pippin no longer needed to wonder what lay beyond the horizon. He had seen it. And though he walked again on solid ice, he sometimes felt the wind beneath his flippers, reminding him of the sky. Somewhere, deep in the southern seas, Zephyria waited, ready for the next curious soul.